Yeah, and I made that mistake. You know, I hit my first million at 24, so you can imagine. I went and got the Bentley and the penthouse and started traveling the world and doing all these things. Tape, I think the one thing more than anything that I regret, if you're watching this out there in your young 20s and you're making money, spending it on bottles is the worst thing.
Even though we're going to go out and spend money on bottles tonight.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But...
Season 2, we're back in Miami. It is absolutely a gorgeous day here, 80 degrees, and we're gonna go visit my boy Jason Stone. You may know him as the Millionaire Mentor, and this guy has become one of the most renowned social media influencers in the country. He's been ranked on Forbes, I believe, over 5 times as one of the top 25 social media influencers in the game right now. Talk about lifestyle entrepreneur.
Come from a small town in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. So I've been in Miami like 12 years, but it wasn't all glitz and glam. You know, I'm a little bit older today. Most people think I'm a lot younger than I really am. Yeah. I did go to college for mechanical engineering. My parents put me through college, barely put me through college.
Was that something that were you like hyped about it?
No, they definitely wanted me to go to college, and I had to pick something. So I picked mechanical engineering, and I really didn't do much through college, my college years. I started my first business by selling parts on eBay. And I took one co-op job when I was in college, and I decided, and I was getting up at like 6 in the morning to drive 1 hour, to come back and like waste 2 hours of driving. I was like, one semester of co-oping while I was in college, I decided, this is not for me. I got to do something about it. I need to become an entrepreneur, start making my own money, because I knew I did not want to work for anybody. And I think one of my first businesses, I would go to the junkyard, or I think the first business was, I was mowing lawns. I saved up mowing lawns, I saved up $500 to buy a beater, to then, you know, when I was 16 or 17.
Oh, this is pre.
That's one of my first jobs.
Okay.
First like, making money on my own type of thing. And you know, I would buy a car at the repo auction and sell it, I think for $500. I made it $500, sold it for $1,000. And went back to the repo auction, bought another car. You know, I stacked maybe a few $1,000s, and you know, that was kind of during college. I started my first business on eBay of selling junkyard parts from scrap yards. I would go to the scrap yard, the junkyard, and with a backpack full of tools in 30-degree weather, wrenching on like turbo parts. You know, that's my business today, is turbocharging, and that's kind of how I got into it. You know, during my college years, I would do that just to make money on the side and to have some money. And you know, I started Treadstone Performance in my early 20s. You know, kind of, you know, when college was ending, I said I got to figure out something to do. So I started selling on eBay, and that's how Treadstone Performance came about. That was my first real, legit business, besides mowing lawns or dishwashing or working at the produce or some.
Yeah. I've done the produce.
Yeah, you've done produce before? You know about that bok choy.
Just remember all those digits on when they get to the register.
Yeah, so, you know, that was in my 20s, that's what I did. I built my brand, Treadstone Performance. A lot of people don't know me by that brand. A lot of people just know me as Millionaire Mentor. But you know, before that, I put in the work to build the brand. You know, it's a worldwide brand that, you know, we have distributors across the entire world, 250 distributors worldwide. And we engineer and develop mechanical, you know, turbocharging parts for cars. And
so do you actually have a passion for turbochargers?
Yeah,
that's why you started going to junkyards looking for it?
That was my hobby back then.
What was your first car?
First real car, besides the beaters. Besides the beaters, I worked up to sell a few beaters, and my first real car, I was passionate about Mustangs. That was like the big craze back then. And I got my first Mustang, and was a funny story that my parents actually bought me a Camaro.
Oh, really?
I'm like, what is this? They helped me buy a Camaro. I saved up some money. I'm like, come on, I want this Mustang, I want this Mustang, but it was too much money. And they, surprised me with this cheap Camaro. I'm like, I don't want this. And I went and sold it, and spent all my money on the Mustang. And over the years, one of my first turbo kits was on a Mustang, and that was kind of like a passion for cars. I want to go fast in cars. I go to the racetrack with the Mustangs and race them down the quarter mile. And I mean, that was fun. That was the hobby back then.
Yeah. So just like to relate to you, that was a huge passion of mine, because I used to sell car parts just to make enough money to be able to buy parts.
That's what I did it for. I wanted to sell parts to make money. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was more into the street. Like, I was like a Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious is what inspired my business as well. Every time a Fast and Furious movie came out, our sales went up. I mean, we got out of Mustangs and we went toward the Japanese cars.
Right.
So that's kind of like the Fast and Furious, the little Civics back in the days.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Those are fun. And
I had a Civic too.
Did you?
Yeah.
The SI?
Yep, I had a Civic SI. I put a turbo kit on it, and I was all black.
Oh,
I'll always keep it black.
Those blue ones are just so bomb. But I
remember the blue ones.
Like one of the things I always wanted when I got to that for me, that real pinnacle of success is having that mansion with obviously multiple garages.
Yeah, that's my passion. I want a big ass garage.
Right. I mean,
I'm like, that's why I don't want to move to a condo. They don't have no garages. What am I gonna do in my garage?
Yeah, I hear you. We got a pretty dope one here. You got some cool whips, but I'm the same, man. I want a lot of garages, a lot of cars, and I always said that I want room, just for the inner kid in me growing up, for that one fun car from my youth. Whether it's a Civic all souped up, or an Eclipse, or a Mustang for you, right?
I've had my fair share of race cars. I just sold them all. That passion is, dying down. I'm still gonna have that business till I die. I don't think I'll ever sell it. It runs in the background.
So did you now find someone that can run it for you?
Yeah.
Is it on autopilot?
I mean, that's crucial. Is just building your team and trusting guys to. You got to trust people, and you got to build that team to run it for you. The day-to-day operations, I just slowly, gave people my job. I mean, in my college days, I had no idea what I was going to do. My passion was making cars go faster, and I was coming home with busted knuckles, trying to make a buck on eBay.
Yeah.
And it was hard. There's so many people that sell on eBay. How are you going to make your impression? But I never gave up, that's for sure. I always just, you have a mistake, you're gonna go through mistakes and bumps in the road along the way. But if you're really passionate about it and you're obsessed, you're gonna be successful. You keep the money on your mind 24/7, you go to bed thinking about what you're gonna do the next day, thinking about how you're gonna make your business more efficient, you're gonna be successful. I know a lot of my friends, they weren't like that. Growing up, every single one of my friends back in Ohio, they're just living paycheck to paycheck. And back then, when I was struggling and hustling, they were going out partying. They were thinking about the next girl they're gonna hook up with, or the next bar they're gonna go to. And I stayed home because I had to answer the phone call. I had to package the boxes. I had to go to the post office. I went to FedEx. I was running my own, when the Treadstones first began, I was running it out of my parents' basement, doing everything myself. I had my friend come over that needed some extra money, say, hey, can you help me box these up for me?
Yeah.
And
that's what it takes. That's what people don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that shit was stressful too. For years I did that by myself. I ran my own business in the parents' basement. Then I finally moved out. I moved to Miami, and I moved into actually a house that's right down the street. I moved all my warehouse. My house was my warehouse.
Yeah.
I didn't move down here and buy a warehouse. I ran my business out of my house still. A 6-bedroom house. Every room was a different part for a different, you got silicone, aluminum.
It's gotta be reserved for those.
So, yeah, one of the reasons why I never overextended myself. I always waited till I had to expand. I waited till I had some cash flow when I really needed to expand. And
it's interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize that.
A lot of people
it's all about going and raising money, raising millions of dollars.
Yeah, I bootstrapped pretty much.
All that stuff. And it's that's something that you
lose equity of your business. You lose all kinds of equity. Yeah, you can maybe get there quicker, but I own 100% of my business. 100% of the profits will go to me. That's what's nice.
What are you doing it all for? What is that entrepreneurship?
I mean, you can't really say you do it for yourself because then, you know, you can't be rich and be by yourself. So you do it for the people you love. You know, my family and my kids. I want to be able to provide for them, you know, amazing life, a lifestyle that I don't have to worry about my wife going to work. I want her to be with the kids as much as possible, and me too. I go into work once a week. I've been home with my daughter since she was born for the last 6-7 months. On my computer and my laptop, trying to live the laptop lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just do it for family, really.
I think a lot of the problems that entrepreneurs face right now, you know, and this is something that obviously me and Jason are both talking about, is having that trust in building your team.
You'll never be able to expand your business without delegating and trusting someone with your knowledge. You gotta pass it on, and it's the only way you can build an empire.
100%.
That's why I have 100% freedom to start my other businesses. I've started many other businesses in the past. You know, the social media business, I started titanium exhaust business. I sold those 2-wheel scooters for about a year, before, you know, the electric scooters. Yeah. I have that I can do that syndrome, that entrepreneurs, if you see someone doing something, why can't you do it? Like, you should be able to do it and you know, what is it called? Not copy, but mimic success. You know, I took on a lot of load of different businesses. Like I said, a couple that I just told you about.
Did you have a mentor though, or was it just something innate in you that?
I wish I could say that I had an actual mentor. Yeah. But I'm like, I've always thought of myself as a good teacher myself. Yeah. So I've always mentored myself, so to speak, and that's kind of where the name Millionaire Mentor come from. You know, I wanted to share my story, my success, things that I've learned through growing up in entrepreneurship for the last 10, 12 years. And you know, just give back. Just give back to the people, and like I said, you give back tenfold.
So how many businesses do you have now?
One of the businesses that I just got into within the last year, I was an investor in with my friend Danny. He opened up the local door coupons down here in Miami. They've been on business in Miami for the last 3 years, I think. Right. And he approached me. He just saw what I was doing, and it was because of social media. Social media has brought me so many opportunities. It's unbelievable.
Do you think that's been by far the biggest tool for you?
Yes, 100%. If you guys aren't putting out content on a daily basis or trying a little bit, putting out some sort of content, it's not going to go a long way in the future. You need to start doing it now, and that's what I did back in the day for Millionaire Mentor. The story of how it came about is pretty funny. My house was robbed. Okay. Yeah, I was out of town, and it was an inside job. They knew I was out of town. They came where I was in Disney with the family and robbed the house, and I deleted all my social media. That was like 3 years ago.
Oh, because you thought it was from that?
It was, because I was posting pictures while I was out of town. Right. And I deleted my Instagram. I had like 10,000 followers back in the day. 10,000 followers is a lot back 3-4 years ago. Right.
When you started, did you catch that early on with you?
Yeah, but I did get in on Instagram early on. I claimed my land space, as Gary Vee would say. I got my property early on. And I started putting content out. Something happened during my day, I'd put it on Instagram.
When you bought them, when you found the Millionaire Mentor name, were you excited?
I mean, it really just came about like really quick. But now that I think about it, the name is so crucial. Like, who wouldn't follow that? Right. Who wouldn't follow the account that says Millionaire Mentor? Right. So the name, yeah, it is crucial. And there's, back in the day, I was one of the first to start putting those viral quotes on social media. And there was only a handful of people doing it back then. Now there's thousands. Yeah. So it's a lot harder to get into the space and develop a following like I did now than it was 2 years ago.
Oh, big time. Big time. Yeah. First to market.
What am I?
You're solid.
Let me take a hit.
And leverage it for all my businesses.
I just did it because I wanted a lot of followers. Yeah. And I was selling shout outs back then. I said, the more followers you get, the more people will pay you for advertising.
Yeah.
And that's really all I did it for. I had no idea I'd be able to turn into something that I did now with influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, and being able to market the business that I just invested in, the local door clippers. I invested in that business. They gave me a stake in the company, and I started blasting on my social media. Right. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. We sold a dozen franchises within the last 6 months. $20,000 a pop for a franchise, all because of my social media. Yeah. It blows my mind that you can market your own business. Like, I tell you guys, you gotta start putting out content on a daily basis. That's what I did for the last 2 years. You're able to market your own business to your followers or be an affiliate. And guys, social media is the way of the future. Influencer marketing is the way of the future. If you're, like I said, if you're not putting content out there on a daily basis, you gotta get out there, put your face out there. Brands are spending billions on influencers. Regular advertising, TV, billboards, radio, music, television. That advertising's dying. All these brands are paying these influencers tens of thousands of dollars to post on social media. That's the way, everybody is on their phones, All the millennials are on their phone. 98% of the millennials are on their phone. Why not bring the advertising to them on their mobile? And everybody spends most of the time on social media. So if you're not getting out there on social media, you're not gonna be an influencer to be able to get paid from these big brands.
What's your favorite? Oh! Yeah! Founders on every
with the bank.
Awesome, dude. Good game.
All right, brother.
We got an entrepreneur meetup to get to, so we should probably get to it. Real quick, so what is now?
But like I could before
So easy to
bring them out to a set and just
I'm leaning either the
turn it somewhat millennial. I'm a
Galarian?
like joke with them, make them laugh. We have to do
675
some
LT
challenges,
or
and then actually give tangible advice. I love it. Because the biggest
So where we heading?
my audience that they said is like,
Hey everybody, check it out. About to have the entrepreneur meetup in Wynwood. It's called the
we
Butcher
going?
Shop.
we want
Yes.
like
the Butcher Shop in Woodwood. See you guys there. Pretty cool, and that's kind of why I set my alarms today. He's like, I think the guy's named JC Limitless. He's like, plan out your day and your goals and set alarms for everything that you have to do throughout your day. And that'll remind you to...
Is that something you do?
No, I just kind of did it today because I saw his Instagram story.
Oh, really?
I don't usually set hours.
So you see how you're still a student at the game.
Yeah, you learn from everybody. What happened?
Scratch, you're up.
So never be too cocky. We don't know everything. A 16-year-old can teach us